Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast of Inside Out with Kea Boya. I am your host, Kea Boya, and this is a podcast that is dedicated to holistic self-care and personal development from the inside out. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. Please don't forget to like what you see if you do like it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you're tuned into this on Spotify, do not forget to also subscribe to the channel. So lately, for a long time, actually, since I've been back on the podcast, I've been discussing the importance of community. And I'm going to share some things I've been learning about the importance of community and friendships. So lately, I've just been in a very interesting space where I am not looking to date. So if you have a crush on me, shut it, please. I'm joking. No, but seriously, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was like, I don't know what's going to take for me to get to a point where I decide that I'm going to be in a relationship with someone, because once I get comfortable with being by myself, it is over for any gent that even dreams of dating me. Well, it's not over, but it's just going to take a lot to convince me to actually be open to the idea of dating. And with that being said, I have been a lot more focused on friendships. I have been a lot more intentional about my friendships as well. And one of the things that I know a lot of people struggle with is making friends in their 20s, especially your late 20s, because you become so comfortable with the group of people that you have. And I get that sometimes you've had experiences that have made you very unopen to, or closed off rather, to making new friends. And I don't know, I've found that for me, that has been the opposite thing. Like, I've met incredible people in my mid-late 20s, and I'm so glad that I have opened myself up to the beauty of making relationships and making friendships with people that don't have any history with you. So I think there's beauty in that, because when you meet somebody, they see you for the person that you are right now. And my friend and I were actually talking about this when I was sharing that one of the girls that I recently met got so emotional when she saw the vlog that I uploaded where I was doing a shoot with Channel O. And she's like, oh my gosh, I met you at a time where you weren't really great, and to see what's happening right now in your life is so exciting. And we were talking about how it's really important to have people that see you in a fresh set of eyes, because sometimes we get so familiar with the people that are in our lives to a point where it's just like, I know you and I don't need to keep learning about you. But that is not necessarily the truth. The people in our lives are constantly evolving, and we need to learn and open ourselves up to learning the people that are in our lives. That leads me to my second point about, the beauty of having history with the people in your life, but also being open to seeing people with a fresh pair of eyes. I can tell you now that the friend that I was 10 years ago is not the friend that I am right now. And I still have friends that I have been with for over 10 years. And I am so grateful that I'm in a relationship, or in friendships rather, that are able to see me for the person that I am now, not closed off to the fact that, oh, but this is how you are and this is how you've always been. But people that see me for the person that I am right now, for the person that I'm striving to be, and people that are also very intentional about not focusing on the bad side of you, but seeing the good even when the bad exists. And that is something that I'm learning about friendships, that you evolve as a person, and as you evolve as a person, the people in your life need to keep up with the evolution of who you are. They cannot keep seeing you as the same person that you are, because best believe those are the kind of people that you can grow with. 10 years from now, when you look back, you'll be able to say, oh my God, I have evolved and I'm different, but I have grown with the people in my life. I have evolved with the people in my life. And I think for me, that is such a blessing and such a beautiful thing, to have people in your life that you are able to evolve with, who are your friends in different seasons of your life, who have seen you in different seasons of your life and are still able to remain your friend. So the third thing that I'm learning again about friendships is intentionality. Like, you grow up, life takes you to different parts of the world, sometimes in the same city, sometimes in a different city. But unlike in high school, where friendship was determined by the proximity of the closeness that you have with the people in your life, I'm learning how intentionality goes a long way in long distance relationships. And like, my best friend lives an hour away from me, and we are very intentional about our friendship. We are very intentional about checking in on each other. We are very intentional about spending time with each other. And even as you grow, even with the people that you have close proximity with, like your colleagues, maybe your work bestie, or your friends that you live in the same city with, I think because we get so caught up in life and so many things happen in life, you have to start learning how to be intentional about your friendships. You have to learn how to cultivate the friendships that you have, how to care and make sure that the relationship that you have with that person grows and it evolves, and that you don't evolve and grow apart, but you actually get to a point where you grow together. One of the things that I learned that I was not necessarily good at when it comes to friendships is maintaining my friendships even when I'm in a relationship. Guilty as charged. Maybe it was because I had just moved to Joburg, but I have learned and I am seeing the importance of still maintaining your friendship groups even after being in a relationship. I don't care how loving your relationship is. I don't care how wholesome your relationship is. I don't care how amazing your partner is. It is so important to still maintain the relationship that you have with your friends. And personally, I haven't been necessarily good at that. And I think that's also why right now I'm so intentional about my friendships, because when I was in a relationship, the person that I was in a relationship with was my world. They were the end all be all. And I also learned that it's important to have your own life in a relationship. So it's important that he has his own life, you have your own life, and when you come together, you have a life that you create together. That's just one of the things that I'm learning, that just because you are in a loving and fulfilling relationship, that individual cannot be the end all be all for you, because at some point it's going to get exhausting. At some point it's going to become too much, and they will not be able to fulfill each and every need and desire that you have. And there are some ways in which they might not even understand you. But when you have a circle of friends who are able to uphold you when you are going through the tough times in your relationships as well, it serves as a very diverse support system where your support is not just on one person, but you also get support from the people in your life, your family, your friends, that even should anything happen to the relationship, God forbid, but should anything happen to the relationship, you still are able to maintain your support system. You are still able to have the people that have been your core or a part of your core circle still be there for you, still show up for you, still support you, still love you, still, evolve with you. Because the process of being in a relationship or in a breakup can be so lonely that you can feel like, oh my gosh, I am alone in this world and I don't have any support. But once you balance out the personal, your own life and the life that you have with your partner, then it makes it so much easier for you to be able to have enough support, even when you're going through tough times, even when your partner goes through tough times. I mean, we always need to be supported, and having somebody be the center of your universe will kind of be a lot on them at some point, and you will need to diversify your support system as well. So that's just one of the things that I'm learning in my late 20s, things that I had no idea about when I was in my early 20s that I am learning now in my late 20s, where I'm like, oh my God, I actually need to have a group of people. I need to have friendships. Even when I'm in a relationship, I need to cultivate my life, which is where I think I am right now. I think because in my previous relationship, I was just so consumed with just being in this person's world. I am right now learning the importance of building communities and having a solid group of friends and developing good relationships with my family as well, so that should anything happen right now, I do have my own life. Even if somebody comes into my life, they are an addition to this beautiful holistic life that I'm building for myself. I'm not depending on them to support me all the time. I'm not depending on them to, be my lifeline. I am being responsible for my own health. I'm being responsible for my own well-being by going to therapy. I am being responsible for my own happiness by building a life that I know I am happy with, that whoever walks into my life will also feel like, okay, you know what, this person has harmony, this person has built a life that they are happy about, and I can only be in it by adding goodness to it, because her life is already so full and so rich and so wonderful, the life that she has built for herself. And honestly, that's, I think, a big part of the reason why I am taking a step back from relationships. But I really hope that this has served you in some way and has encouraged you to be a better friend to the people in your life. And also, please do share some lessons that you are getting in your late 20s or in your mid 20s about friendships that you didn't necessarily know in your early 20s. Thank you so much for watching this podcast episode. Until we meet again, have a good one.